So let's get into the mess of the mess, and it is the Housewives of Miami, episode 2, y'all. So first off, like, share, subscribe, and join the channel. It's your boy Paul. So let's get down to it. So we ended up starting off with my girl. Okay, we ended up starting off with Lisa, Adriana, and Gertie. So they ended up meeting up for, I want to say, lunch, and they ended up chit chatting about. First they chit chatted about Adriana and her new boo. Get a little conversation about that. They got into a little 1-2. They are happy that Adriana is happy. That she found somebody and stuff like that. And then they switched over to talking about Alexis and Todd, and they were so shocked about what's going on there. And then they ended up switching over to Lisa talking about Lisa getting ready to go to Milan because she going to be walking in a fashion show and stuff, and she's very excited about that because she said she used to be a model and actress. That's why she moved from Canada to here and stuff like that. I'm saying, girl, I ain't never seen you in Ish, but I said, alrighty. Also, shout, yeah, she talked about her dad. So she talked about her dad. Her dad had a heart attack. So she really worried about that. And stuff. Then she talked about what's going on with her, and she talked about her and Larson not getting along, and that little 1-2 issue, and that she also said that she gonna end up seeing Lawrence at the show, and Gertie and Adriana, like, girl, she gonna make it all about her. They said no, she ain't. No, she not. No, wait, she. I said, well, both of y'all gonna make it all about yourself because y'all are the same person. Y'all always make everything about y'all, but she's definitely gonna make it about her. I said it's gonna be about her 100% because that's Larson, but she's in denial of that. Um, so we move on past her. We move on to Larson. So Larson is with her son, um, with one of her sons. I said, yeah, I want to say one of them. Yeah, she with the youngest one. She with the youngest son, and stuff. Yeah, the youngest one. She with the youngest one. He actually, she said she know the designer. I was asked to walk in the show, but I was a little because I never done that. But I told him, well, my son could do it and stuff. And so she said her son could do that. Can he walk? She went, yeah, I think he can. So her son is actually walking in the show, and I'm like, okay. Um, a son walking in the show. What else did this crazy heifer say? Yeah, that's all she was. That's all she said was her son is walking in the show, and that was it. Then we move on to and Julia. So Alexis and Julia actually go do Pilates, and so after the Pilates class, they leave. So they just chit chatting as they walking down the street, and um. They were talking about Lisa and Larson. They talked about Lisa and Larson. They said because Alexis was worried about like how things gonna go over there at the fashion show in Milan because she know how both of them are, and she like this can all be all about somebody gonna make it all about them, and you shouldn't be acting the way you gonna act over there at a fashion show. So that's what her big concern is. She said, they shouldn't do that type of stuff there. They should be. She know they not gonna do that. That's her feelings about that. Then they switched over to X, and she asked Julia, "What's going on with you and Gertie and stuff?" And so Lion is gonna say, when I was trying to tell y'all about the news about adopting the boys, during the call, you know, I had the boys in my hands, so I was unable to get her back into the call. But she texted me this nonchalant text saying that, oh, just congratulations. I said, this heifer is a liar. I said, she did. I said, you weren't holding not a child in your hand. You just didn't want to let that woman back into that call because she logged out and she had other things to do, but she came back. You just didn't want to let her in on what was going on because you acting fake. So then she tell another thing that she got an issue with her supposed issue that she said that Gertie was supposed to go. Who was supposed to go with her? Was it Lisa? I think it was Lisa. I think Lisa was supposed to go with her on another trip. She was going somewhere else to another event out the country or somewhere, and Gertie ended up taking the spot and going with her. So I want to say after the event, it was either the after party or whatever. Gertie couldn't get in. Gertie wasn't on the list, so Gertie texted her saying like, I can't get in, and whatever. And I ate alone. I had to go somewhere else to eat alone. And Julia, like, she was supposed to be there for me. I said, but you brought her there. Like if she couldn't get in, that was your responsibility to make sure that this woman got in because she was with you. She came to support your dumb self. And you treated her like trash. She didn't have to come. Lisa couldn't come. She didn't have to come. She was being a friend to you. And you treating her like garbage all of a sudden. And it like her coming for Gertie and how she treat Gertie does not make any sense to me. Nothing makes sense to me with her and her attitude towards Gertie. Because Gertie ain't did nothing. Gertie seemed like she ain't did nothing to her other than try to be a friend. Because y'all been a friend this whole time. Now that you're friends with Alexis and Marisol, it's all of a sudden you didn't turn into the person that you may truly been, and it's just now coming fully out, or what? But let's move on past that line, heifer. We move on past now. We get into. Hold up, there was somebody. I don't have them on here. I want to say it was somebody else, but they not on here and they must not be that important. But we gonna move on to Lisa and Larson. So Lisa and Larson they already on their way to Milan, Italy for the fashion show. So they ended up being on the same plane, and stuff, got off the same plane. They both acting weird. Her son, like, okay, mom, stop doing too much. But Larson gonna be Larson and stuff. So they ended up finding out that they had to be in the same pickup. They was in the same pickup vehicle because the designer put them in the same pickup vehicle. Like y'all both going to the same place. So they get into the back of the vehicle. The son said, "I'm riding in the front." The mom said, "You gonna leave?" Lord said, "You gonna leave me back there?" Back here, he went, "Yes." So she back there with Lisa and Jody, and it's like awkward. At least, oh, this is so awkward. So Lisa did say hi. They both said hi to each other, and then that's the whole argument just started. I said, "Oh God." Lisa didn't say it. At least during this argument, Lisa said sorry to Larson's son because how Larson was acting back there. Your son is in the front. You should be act like you got some sense. But she couldn't act like she got any sense because she going off on them because going off on Jody because Jody hanging out with Marcus and stuff and saying that you just want to be around him because he just doing that. You just being around him because you just trying to be around the Jordans and stuff like that. And come to find out, he said I felt a certain way about you because you were talking about me at my party and stuff. And Lawson like okay, like good, like was like your point is said. And doing this, her and Lisa going at it, all three going at it this time. And Lisa ended up trying to her dad up, saying, "My dad is in the hospital. My dad is on the watch." And Lawson said, "Then why are you here?" She said, "Why are you here? You should be with your daddy. If he's on the watch, he may end up passing or what? Be here." Oh no, she went, "That was just rude. That was rude and disgusting." Saying, "Well, you shouldn't be here. You the one said he on the watch." I said, "Wait a minute, listen." I said, "Girl, you got no feelings at all, girl." I said, "No, girl, you can't be doing that to somebody." I said, "Girl, that was wrong. That was wrong and insensitive. And you can't." I said, "That good grace." So that's how she felt about it. So after that, we move on to Gertie. So we move on to Gertie. So Gertie is at the surgeon office, plastic surgeon, with hubby, and she didn't have 6 surgeries already because she doesn't feel. She went from a double D to, what did she say? She went from a double D to something. I think she went from double D to either 2 sizes down, if I'm not mistaken. 2 or 3. She went from a double D to 2 sizes down, or 3 sizes, one or the other. And herself. But she think that if after she has two more surgeries, then she may feel better. And I was actually watching this episode with my mom. She make me understand that how a woman feel and stuff like that, the difference from a man and woman. But I said I understood what Gertie was talking about. My is was she going to therapy? Because I understand that you don't feel good about yourself. You don't feel comfortable. You don't see yourself like you seen yourself before, the cancer, the radiation. I understand all that. But I feel like is she going to therapy? Because it's hard to explain, to try to explain it, because something seems like it's something like there's a because if she may say 2 more surgeries, but I'm thinking like I don't think she will be satisfied with just 2 more surgeries. Is what I'm seeing, just how it's going, and being comfortable with herself, because she also expressing like how her husband, I'm thinking she don't think that he think she's sexy and everything, but I feel like he do think that she's sexy. He do excite her the same way, but she may not feel that way, and I understand that. But I also wonder, like, is she in therapy to help with um them feelings? But y'all let me know how y'all feel about it. Let's move on past that. Let's get into the next person up. From Gertie to Marisol. So Marisol was actually Marisol is at home with hubby, aka hubby. She at home with hubby because they actually are getting married. Officially married in the state. So she excited about that, but she ended up talking to him about, her bestie, Alexis, and she tells that she is so worried about Alexis because she get the other side of Alexis, the craziness, the craziness, that her life is in danger. She said her life is in total danger, baby. She said, I fear for my life because I don't get it. Because I got a deal of her and Todd. And the mood swings this man put her through comes to me. She went, I'm the punching bag she come through. I gotta deal with it. She's like, I don't know what I'm getting. And I just want her to leave him alone. I said, Marisol had me weak. I said, girl. she she was asking for help. She blinked 4-5 times, like, help me. I said, girl, that I understand. You got that crazy friend who's so obsessed over a man, low life, dirty man who treats her like crap, and she keep running back, and she takes the frustration out on you. And you the friend who's a drunk, and you try to die. Your buzz wearing off, you try to dodge and weave. Oh man, I said, baby. I said, Marisol girl, I'm loving you this season. I'm loving you this season. So we move past Marisol and her frustration she was giving, trying to get off to her husband with about her bestie situation. So we get to Lars. So we get back to Milan, Italy. So Larson and her son meets up with the designer, and this was the crazy part. So the designer came in there, and Larson said that she and the designer was friends, but when he came in there, he introduces himself to her. I said, "How y'all friends if he introduces himself to you?" But like he just first time meeting you. But they picked the pieces that the son had to wear. He ended up walking, show his walk and everything. But I said it was the designer. Said the designer cut that boy down because the way he tied his shoes, like he's a preschool like he's a preschooler. um, take that t-shirt off because that's something that's done in America. I said, what do that mean? I'm like, what do that mean? I said I didn't get that. He was saying a lot of different phrases that was negative towards America, and I'm like, what's going on here? I said I felt such insulted, and I'm like, this is insulting. He was just insulting America like left and right, and just like nothing. Like she didn't hear anything. Then Larson, he was asking where Lisa was because Lisa haven't arrived yet. And Larson said, "Can I push her down some steps?" Sure, what's going on? When we're not talking and stuff. And I went, okay. So I said, when she started talking to him, I went, oh, so they are friends. I went, they friends, but he just seemed like they weren't friends. But I went, that man maybe just be just a weirdo designer to me. But they show up, and we move on past that. Them in that part, we get to Alexis, and we got Alexis, Marisol, Julia, Alexis' best friend Johnny. So they all together. In this part, this Alexis have a long crime moment, breakdown, the whole thing out Todd, and she spilled some tea. So Johnny has been the bestie for the longest, so Johnny know everything. He know everything like Marisol know everything, and you know is on the same page. Todd. And so she ended up breaking down what's been going on, her feelings and stuff. And the crazy thing about her had a crying spell. This girl also told us secrets, said that man ain't got no place. It said he rent a car, he rent an apartment, everything he owns is rented. I said, damn girl. I said, why you with a rent a man? You with a rent a man. But you riding for this man. I said, girl, why? If everything is rented. Girl, you had to move out of that gorgeous penthouse you got. Because I know you still got that penthouse. I said, and move into something else. I said, which is dumb. So yeah. Doing this whole thing, Julia even called Julia told her that, the one thing keep running back in her head about this thing is when you told me that man packed his stuff, him and his daughter stuff up and left right in front of Frankie. She said to do that, I could never ever want to be with a person like that. And she started like, yeah, I'm done with him. I'm done with him. It's like, girl, you not done with him. You're not done. She also told that, since he filed for a divorce 5 months ago, it's now the decision had to be made. If she said it's in his part if he gonna go through with it or not. And Johnny said, no, you need to make that decision. And she does. It's like, girl, what's going on? Why is you demonetized, girl? Because you, for no reason. Because he's after you. It's like on this show, he wanted to get famous off of this show, but he ain't get the fame that he think he was gonna get because he's an arrogant prick. And the way that he came to me, the way he dogged your oldest son Peter, I said he was done. I said his whole persona, how he presented himself that whole time, he was never gonna be famous the way he wanted to be famous, and that was the problem. And this girl even told us that, she said that if she told him she would leave the show just just so they could stay together. I said, girl, this your moneymaker. Because your nail salon, pedicure, manicure, and all that stuff, that's making you a good coin, but that ain't making you the money that you make from Real Housewives. So you need to rethink, stop being, and wake up, Alexis. Because, girl, go for the money. Don't do brokies. And you doing a brokey. A true one at that one. But let's move on past them. Let's get into the last part that we got. I know it was one more. Who was it? Okay, after that bull crap. Oh yeah, it was one more thing at the dinner and stuff. It was Marisol. So Marisol said in her confession, she said, he took you through all of this. He said he took you through all of this. Start being the asshole that I know you are. I said, that's right, because she's she don't give a damn about nobody but herself. I said she make Larson, Lisa look like nothing in true form, but she saw her in the stress right now. She don't know what to do. She can't find herself because once she find herself, she's a bad for God. It's all about Lexus, always in her kids. So that's what their part. Let's move on to the part we got, and that's the fashion show. So at the fashion show actually went good. During the show, her son did a great job walking. The last person to walk was Lisa. Lisa did good, and whatever. Doing Lisa walk, it was Lawson. Lawson and Lisa both, they are big ass kids. And Lawson had a big ass this um light on the top of her phone that was so damn bright. She taking pictures while Lisa was walking. I said, stop being a child. Both of them to be doing this. Y'all almost 70. Damn. So, after that, the show was over. It was good. They went to the after party. So at the after party, we ended up getting to see Fabulous, the rapper. So he ended up talking to Leanne Larson. He friends with both of them. So he ended up finding out what's going on. Excuse me. And he ended up talking to him. They ended up telling him what happened. And he literally told them both of them was wrong. And they need to move forward. And Larson lied and said, he says, you over it? Larson said, I'm over it. I didn't move past it. I said, girl, you a liar. You didn't move past it because he said it. Now you didn't move past it. You've been acting like a child this whole entire time. Both of y'all. But now that this man then told y'all to move forward, get over it. She shouldn't have been doing that. You shouldn't have been dogging her and disrespecting her or her man with what you said at that at her house and whatever. So now they done made up, and they done made up. Now they on good terms. So as that happened, Lisa, I think Lisa, I was really confused at this part because Lisa ended up either getting a text message from Jody, or she was texting Jody. It was one or the other. I was so confused. But they ended up finding out that Jody, I think, left because he felt awkward and he wasn't getting no attention. And Lawson White, he supposed to be here to support you. She ain't, yeah, I know, right? She went, he grown. I ain't gonna be following him around. I said, oh God. I said, them two a mess. I said, so apparently they ended up showing us like a week later that this is when everything go down. A week later that they get back to Miami, something goes down where they show Lawson saw a picture to the rest of the ladies that he had an after party, his eyes all red and stuff. I said, damn, was he high or drunk? One or the other. So there's some trouble in paradise. I said, so she's being messy. I said, Lawson being messy. I said, so y'all finna go down the drain again. I said, yeah. I said, oh Lord. Next episode is this week, so I can't wait to see that. So y'all let me know how y'all felt about this episode of Miami. Miami been off the chain since episode 1, and they ain't stopped. I said, but my girl the girl that showed up this time has been Marisol. And I said, she really out this time around. I think she her a good peach. Well, not a peach, but what do they get in Miami? I have no clue. But she tried to get up there, but it's been really good. I've been enjoying Marisol. I said her confessions and the way she dog Alexis. I said the best. But y'all, thank y'all for tuning in. Like, enjoy the channel. It's your boy Paul. Thank y'all. Bye, y'all. Oh, I don't think nothing came up. Let me see. Before I get up out of here.